This is going to be the highest spot in the system. My kids fact check me all the time on stuff. What they don't get is, we didn't have the internet when I was young. I'm at the age where we actually made the internet. All the information on there we put on there. So even if the information is wrong, whatever I tell them, when they try to fact check me, I end up right. But there is nothing on Google about a water-cooled electric motor. So I'm going to put this video out, and then there'll be something on the internet about water cooling an electric motor. And those lies will be passed down to everyone else, because I have no idea if this is right. This will be my water reservoir for the water-cooled motor. I personally think this water-cooled motor idea is a gimmick, but I'm going to do it, because I don't know. In newer cars, water temperatures reach like 220 degrees. Now let's put our Celsius caps on. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. 220 is about 105, so it's a little bit above boiling, but typically a car runs below boiling, about 95 degrees Celsius, 98 degrees Celsius, somewhere in there. If the car boils, it's prevented by a radiator cap. The radiator cap holds pressure, typically 15 psi, 10 psi. If you can prevent the water from boiling, the pressure will increase. And the pressure increases, of course, it doesn't boil, so they say pressure increases the boiling point. It's kind of which came first, the chicken or the egg. I can't find anything online on cooling these. Nothing on the QS website, on Sotion's website. There's really nothing that talks about it. Everything I've seen from other people, they cool these things like they cool a CPU, which is kind of weird. A CPU runs around 40 degrees Celsius. They can get up to 60 degrees Celsius, so not that hot. And most of the guys I've seen, they use the little CPU pumps. They use the CPU reservoirs, the little clear things, CPU hoses. I don't think that's the answer either. This motor self-protects at 160 degrees Celsius. That's way hotter than a CPU. And that's way hotter than a car. So I don't know what kind of pressures this will be under. And I don't think I'm going to have a pressure relief on this. I think I'm going to keep it pressurized and see if something blows, honestly. And just watch my temperatures. The controller's only 100 degrees Celsius where it self-protects. I'm not going to even cool this. Maybe I will later, but I see no point in it. I think the cooling on the controller is kind of a gimmick too. It basically has a plate that goes underneath this heatsink and runs water through it. I doubt that's doing that much, honestly. I don't know if it's safe to run it without water in it, if the water's some kind of lubrication actually, so I'm going to go ahead and put water in it. So unlike a car, where you allow the pressure to vent out the cap and go into the overflow reservoir, I'm going to use this reservoir as part of the circulation system. That's purely just a tank for more fluid to get better cooling, and it should be able to hold some pressure. I can monitor the motor temperature to see what the water temperature is. If the temperature gets too high, that system's not going to work, because I'm not sure this tank is rated for any kind of pressure. But I'm going to cool this thing like a transmission in a car. The transmission can handle 50 to 150 psi. It varies quite a bit, and transmissions run just as hot as a car, between 90, 105 degrees Celsius. So I'm just using a big oil cooler on the front of this thing. So I got a pump, 12 volts. It's only a 2 amp draw, so I won't need a relay. But it's 3.5 liters per minute. I think that's plenty of flow. I don't know what the temperature limitation on this pump is, or if hot water will hurt it. I'm going to put it on the return leg after the radiator. I'll go into the reservoir with it. Made me another janky ass bracket to hold my water pump. That ain't right. Made in Florida. Much better. And there's my water pump mounted nice and stealthy down there. When you look at the specs for this motor, they call this the inlet and this the outlet. I don't know why it would matter unless there's a pump inside here. So I'm gonna run this motor and see if water pumps through it first. And if it doesn't pump through it, then I can use whatever I want for the inlet and outlet. This motor actually is made with a kit for a CRF450, and it comes with a cooling system and the mounting bracket to convert your CRF450 into an e-bike. That cooling system it comes with is nothing more than your freeze mod computer stuff you get on AliExpress, the cheap stuff. It comes with a little radiator, a couple of electric fans that are pretty low volume, a small little reservoir, clear plexiglass, and a pump. And the pump's pretty light duty. And that's why I think the water cooling's a gimmick. I don't see that system doing much. The car radiator has a fan on it, and that's important, but it's a clutch fan. So when you're idling in traffic and the car is heating up, it's getting no airflow, the fan pushes air through your radiator. When you're going down the road and you're getting nice air going through your radiator, the clutch fan actually disengages and the fan just free spins. It may not even spin at all if it's electric. An electric fan on a car will actually quit when you're going down the road. It'll turn itself off. And then it'll turn itself on when you get into traffic or you get stopped at a stoplight. Electric motor is quite the opposite. This electric motor, when I'm stopped at a stoplight, it's not even running. It's not even making heat. When I'm going fast, I'm making all my heat. I don't think I need fans. So I'm gonna go no fans. If I can't control the heat, I can always add fans later. But right now I'm just going for volume. And this is much more volume than the Sotion kit comes with. That reservoir full, this radiator full, and what's in the hoses and the motor. I'm gonna put some water in this motor until I see it in the blue tube there. Need a second syringe full. Third syringe full. This thing is holding a lot of water. There it comes, it's up there to level now. If that is a pump in there that pumps water, I don't want to run it with no water. I could burn it up. There's no specs on it, so I have no idea. So now I'm gonna run the motor. I'm gonna see if water comes out of one of these ports. So I think I can safely say there's no pump in there. I can put the water in any of these I want, even though they call this one an in and this one an out. I can put water in this one and out this one. I need to try to prime this radiator. I'm gonna go just with straight antifreeze, just because I know it doesn't corrode like water does. Should go higher than those curves, go all the way around it. It don't look like it's doing it though. Maybe I missed that lesson in high school physics. Use the pump to pull it through. Then I turn the pump on with my battery down here. Right through. I'll do that till I get fluid out of this hose right here. Yep. All right, now I've got enough fluid in the system that I won't burn this pump out. I can put all the lines on and start filling this tank and running the pump until I get rid of all the air bubbles. I'm going from the tank to the motor, out the motor, into the radiator, from the radiator into the pump, from the pump back to the top of the tank. I'm gonna fill the tank, run the pump, get all the air out of the system, check for leaks. So the volume's down about right here. I'll be able to see the water coming in there. You just never want the water to get below this nozzle. As long as it's between the top of that and here, you're good. The water will replenish it. But if the water gets too low here, it's gonna suck in air. Yeah, this sight glass is a real good idea so you can see your level, but it's leaking. This thing's been sitting around too long. AliExpress, my sponsor's letting me down. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's not a gimmick, man. That's important. I was playing Fortnite and my computer got really hot. Yeah, whatever. Until you've had one of these water-cooled motors and tested it with and without water, I'm not gonna believe any of you. But it's working. Looks like it's good circulation, and I'll deal with this bullshit later. Still got that leak coming out of there. Let that run for a while and look for more leaks. So far, it's pretty good. I'm gonna drive around and see how hot this thing gets without the water pump on. Just kind of cruise around, see what the temperature does. I'm at 40 degrees on the Moss, which is in the controller, and 40 degrees on the engines. I'm not seeing it heating up too much. The pump is not on. It does have water in it, because I don't want to, drain the water out of it. But the water's not circulating. So I've got the motor temperature up to 43, and the Moss is 41. I cruise around, see if I can get it hotter. Bike's got a great feel to it. And it stops quick. Woo! It steps the back wheel out. I'm up to 55 degrees. I'm getting there. Just need some faster runs. Yeah, this bike's a keeper. I like it. There's 70 really fast. 64 degrees, we're getting there. $80 miles an hour. Yeah, that gearing work I did on the gearing video, Spot on. One sprocket and done. Yeah, I couldn't have geared this thing more perfect. So that means top speed, it's only going to go 100 miles an hour exactly. Oh, there's 70 degrees. That's what I wanted. Time to plug this water cooling in and see what happens. Alright, the water cooling is going, and man, it dropped that right back down to 66 degrees. So it's doing something immediately. It's noisy. There's 65 degrees. Let's drive around. I don't like the sound of it. Yeah, I haven't been riding that long. I'm only down to 100 volts, and we already hit 70 degrees. I think that's the most I've ever hit on the hub drive motor. Of course, the hub drive motor has those cooling vents on it where the air cools it. This does not. This is inside my bike, so it's gonna get hotter. Maybe this cooling thing is not just a gimmick. Maybe it's for real. Holding at 65 degrees, sort of cooling it at 70 degrees Celsius. Now I've been riding about the same, and I'm already down to 62 degrees, so it's definitely working. I think had I not turned it on, it would have kept getting hotter. I might have been up to 80 degrees by now. So the water cooling's working. A little bit of neighborhood driving, a little bit of highway driving here, kind of try to combine it. 63 degrees now. Yes, I just built this. So now I'm simulating I'm sitting in traffic when typically something heats up. And the water cooler's going, but the motor's not, so I'm not making heat. But I'm cooling it. I've got no fans on this thing, but I dropped from 63 degrees Celsius. I'm already down to 58, just in the time you stop at a stoplight. So pretty good, huh?
That's pretty professional.
Now I drove it without the pump on. I got it up 70 degrees in no time. I thought the water cooling might be a gimmick, but it's not. It's a Suzuki Bandit, 1999. It's not a racing Ducati like you would think. It's a sheep in wolf's clothing.
I won't tell anyone.
I'm telling the whole world. It'll do badass burnouts though.
Yeah, I saw some rubber smoke in it.
Do you want to ride it, Vicky? All right. Do you want me to give you a ride? Sorry, only one seat, chump. Ass, grass, or gas. Nobody rides for free. Remember that. So yeah, it's already down to 53 degrees from stopping all that. And usually when you stop an electric motor after you've been running, you get what's called heat soak. It'll actually heat up quite a bit and go higher in temperature. This didn't get it at all. I'm sold. The water cooling, it's a real deal. Now look at my controller temperature is 59 degrees, so that's still hanging in there. Maybe I will try to cool the controller. Who knows? But right now I don't think I need to. I might just do it out of curiosity. Yeah, so here I'm driving again, 54 degrees. That's nice. I think I'd easily be 100 degrees now if it was not for the water cooling. I guess I was used to that hub motor that had the air vents on it. With that hub motor I had the same wattage motor, 20 kilowatt, and same battery, same controller, and I never saw that hub motor exceed 70 degrees Celsius. This one here exceeded it right away. I'm curious to see if it's going to heat back up on me. 56 degrees, not really. It seems to be staying cool. Boy, this bike sure turned out nice. It's still not done. Still waiting on my hand grips. Need some tires, things like that. Just little stuff though. But awesome bike. Couldn't ask for more. Pulled into the garage here and the bike only got cooler and cooler the more I rode. Moss 60 degrees and 53 degrees on the motor temperature. 52 just dropped down to it. It actually gets cooler when it sits here. That's what's neat. So yeah, if you're in heavy traffic, this thing would stay super cool. And apparently even on the highway it stays cool. Yeah, water cooling. What a trick.